Welcome to CityWise. I'm your host, Tiana Stevens. CityWise is produced by the City of Rochester to shine a spotlight on city living at its best. Well, every year, thousands of students from around the world attend local universities in Rochester, and there's a special effort to help make them feel welcomed and comfortable. Behind that outreach is Rochester Global Connections, and they're looking for volunteers. We're joined now by Cecilia Johnson, Executive Director, Amy Pollock, Friendship Volunteer, and U of R alumna, Chu-Yi Wang. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to start with you. Thanks for coming. What is Rochester Global Connections and how did it get started?
Sure. Well, Rochester Global Connections is a nonprofit organization, and what we do is we promote cultural understanding and cultural exchange. So we do that by connecting local residents and professionals with international students and international visitors through the State Department. So we've actually been around for about 58 years now. We were incorporated in 1957.
Okay.
The founder, May Crowley, started the organization on the premise that she recognized that a lot of these international students coming to Rochester didn't really have the support that they needed. So she started just inviting them to her home for dinners, having a welcome picnic, and from there more people kind of joined in to invite international students to their home and really help them adjust to American culture.
Nice. Is this something that's unique to Rochester or New York State?
Well, the organization itself is unique because we are affiliated with University of Rochester and RIT.
Okay.
So we also have kind of two main focuses, and that's with our international students, but also with the international visitors through the State Department. So having kind of those two main focuses is unique. Usually organizations are sort of one or the other, but we do both.
Okay, and so tell us about the Friendship Volunteer Program.
Yeah, so the Friendship Volunteer Program is where we'll match international students with residents in Rochester. So really the Friendship Volunteer acts as a host for the international student. So they'll help with either practical assistance, maybe helping them get them started right when they move to Rochester with their apartment, and then really just to be someone to take them and do social activities around Rochester. And that really helps students adjust to American life, and also as a Friendship Volunteer you get to meet people from around the world and learn about other cultures as well.
And Amy, you've been a Friendship Volunteer for a couple of years, and you're a 19th Ward resident right near the U of R.
Right.
What made you decide to join this program?
Well, our family, Chris and I, my husband, we really believe that God has a special place in his heart for people who are strangers in a foreign culture, because they can be very vulnerable.
Sure.
Whether it be from the language barrier, culture differences, or like just the practical, like where do I go to buy food, or how do I get around the city. So when we found out about the program and the fact that it was like right in our neighborhood, like the 19th Ward is right next to the U of R.
Right.
So we were excited to be able to get to, love these neighbors, these foreign students that were coming right into our neighborhood, and to welcome them into our family and to expose our children and ourselves even to other cultures.
Sure.
Just to, help us, as we got to meet Chu-Yi, who is Chinese, what is a Chinese person really like? Not just the stereotypical view that I may have gotten from media or my own prejudices or whatever, but to really get to know and understand who this individual is. So.
And Chu-Yi, you started at the U of R in 2012, is that right?
Yes.
What was your first impression of Rochester, and how did you find out about this program?
I felt Rochester, I think the public transportation was difficult for me because I came from Beijing, China, a big city where I can take public transportation anywhere. But when I came here, I found if I don't have a car, I can only take school shuttles to campus, River Campus, my dorm, then back and forth. So even like shopping was difficult for me.
Sure.
But also the culture was a big problem to me as well. And I still don't feel very comfortable speaking English in front of a large group of people. And you can imagine how nervous I was when I first came here. And I had to set up my dorm. unfurnished, so I had to purchase all like furnitures, and I had to talk to the person who's like organized from Res Life. So it was like a difficult time for me. But I think I heard this program from my classmate who was an internship at Rochester Global Connection.
Okay.
And she like just advertised the program at class. And I thought, so there was a misunderstanding I had about this program because I thought this was like a host family program. But I knew I wouldn't live with them. All I knew was I didn't know it was called Friendship Volunteer Program or Friendship Family Program. All I knew was if I signed in, I would get a host family, but wouldn't live with them.
Right.
So I thought it's so close to my childhood dream because when I was a kid, I knew that if I studied abroad, I could live with a family, live like a local resident. So it was kind of a dream. But when I came here, I was 23. I had passed that having a host family age for a long time. So I thought this program was so close to my childhood dream. So I signed in and met Amy, and I thought it's such a great idea that meeting or having a family here, even though I was thousands of miles away from home. Yeah.
And you said you're normally kind of shy. How was it meeting Amy's family? And Amy, you have how many kids?
7.
7 boys.
Boys, yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
I was nervous, but I met Amy in person first before I met the whole family.
We took that into consideration.
So there's like a process there. But still, when I saw like 7 kids, I was the youngest at my home, and I am still the youngest. So just seeing people, I'm learning how to hang out with people who are younger than me.
So that's a whole new experience on top of what you're already doing. What do the kids think about the experience?
I think they really enjoy it. They love having people at our house, and I think I asked them what their favorite things were, and they like just having the different food. They really enjoyed the Chinese food that Chi has brought to us, and they just enjoy having people like to jump on and to love and play Legos with. Like they've really gotten down and enjoyed playing with the kids. And, yeah, it's been a really special relationship. So it's been neat.
What are some of the other activities that you guys would do together, or your favorite activity?
So Amy invited me to join them on like Thanksgivings, Christmas, when they went excursions, when kids had birthdays, Oliver's birthday. So with them, I cut my first Christmas tree and had my very first turkey, big bird. I had roast duck back in China, but compared to turkey, that was skinny. So it was fresh experience to me. And I visited parks and farms, and I watched my first soccer game in Rochester. Rhinos.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And Amy participated in my graduation ceremony in May.
Wonderful. And congratulations to you.
Thanks.
What have you learned about American culture that maybe surprised you or you didn't expect?
I think everything I learned, I think it's more because I experienced this culture. So everything I experienced here, even though I might know before, like the tradition, why we do like Thanksgiving Day to thank all like Native Americans for their help, like a long time ago. But when I really experienced this day with an American family, I got different feelings because I'm not only knowing the tradition, I also experienced the atmosphere on that day for example, like Thanksgiving Day, I think it's joyful because we had a huge, like a feast and a family reunion, which reminded me of Spring Festival. But I think the atmosphere was different. It's not only joyful, it's also peaceful. So I think Thanksgiving is like a day or a time for me to think about what and whom I should be thankful to in the past year, and really give me an opportunity to think about what in the future what I can give back to the community and what I can achieve in the future.
That's
so
wonderful.
that's would be something. If I only read through book or read online, I would never know that part.
Okay. Finally, Cecilia, how would someone sign up to be a friendship volunteer?
Right. So I actually also wanted to mention with the Thanksgiving dinner that you don't have to be a friendship volunteer to host international students for Thanksgiving dinner. So you can sign up on our website. And if you'd like to be a friendship volunteer, you can also do that on our website as well, or by giving us a call at our office. And it's as simple as filling out an application. We'll ask you a few questions about, if you have a certain country that you'd like to meet a student from, things like that, so it can really make a good match for you and hopefully forge a lifelong friendship like Amy and Chewy have today.
Well, thank you all so much for coming on. If you'd like more information about Rochester Global Connections or you'd like to volunteer, you can visit rochesterglobalconnections.org or call them at 275-8779. CityWise will be right back.